Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and I'm going to do my week 2 Seek Gather Create hashtag, and it requires you to use a face, the color teal, wings or wings, and stripes. So what I'm going to do is, I've had this Scrappy Fairy that was it was gifted from one of the ladies in the Scrappy 8 Facebook group, Julie Briggs. She provided this digital freebie on Scrappy 8, and it was actually for the January, it was a January Fairy Challenge that was hosted by Lisa Boker. And, but I've had this because I've been doing so many other different projects, but I'm going to actually use this, even though it was supposed to be for the January Fairy Challenge. I'm going to use this for the Seek Gather Create Week 2 Challenge, because it's creating a fairy as well. So it has wings, you know, your legs, arms, and all the components of a fairy. So I'm going to use this, the body and the wings, but for the face, and that's cute too, I'm going to use one of the images from a kit off of Etsy. It's by a company named Abstract Download Art, and I printed this out at like about 40% for like, I think it was like a 4x6, and there are several different images that they have, which it can be bigger, but it's just I wanted it smaller so that I could fit it to like the size of the fairy's face. So I'm not real sure which one I'm going to use, but because they are all gorgeous. I don't know, I'll probably just use this one right here. So I'm going to cut this gorgeous image out, and just look at the detail in that. It's just, it looks so real, so 3D. So I'm probably going to add some fabrics and strings and other things to kind of make it blend with that image. So I'm going to cut out my legs and arms and all that, and then we're going to start creating all of our stuff. So let me go ahead and snip, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have everything cut out, and so I want to add some shade to the bodice and the yeah, to this part, all of these little old pieces here. I think I'm just going to use some Archival ink. I'm just going to lightly color it in little by little. And I'm gonna be adding some more stuff to it anyway. But I just want it just so it's not just a plain white. I wanted it to have just a little hint to make it look like the flesh looks like flesh, or something close to it. And then I'm probably also going to go over the face that's in the printed image. I don't want to mess it up though, because it is so pretty. I don't want to mess that up, but I might, just so it can kind of blend in with the rest of the body. So we'll do that. And I'll probably add some mixed media and things like that. So let me just slide this over. And I was just trying to kind of size it up and see how I'm going to do things. I'm just going to add just a little bit. Hopefully I'm not going to mess it up, you know. But just to kind of make it look like it's the natural tone. It kind of blends in a little bit. Okay, yeah. All right, so we've got that. And I'm probably going to back these onto some thicker cardstock, because this is like 65-pound cardstock. It's not very thick, and I'm going to be using some brads because these are going to swivel. The legs and arms are going to swivel. So I'm definitely going to need to make this a little bit more sturdy. So I guess I could get some maybe light brown cardstock to glue this and re-cut out again. Okay, so I found this cream color paper, and I decided just to go around the edges of these, each one of these, and then just glue it onto the paper. And we're going to be cutting these out, and then we're going to assemble it with some other stuff. I had printed this, I had messed up on my print on the original page, and so I just flipped it and reprinted it again, but I was going to use this side, but that right there shows, so I'm just going to keep the dark outline of this right here, of these wings, but we're going to, I'm going to add some mixed media to it, so it's fine that it has that black on there, so, but I'm still just go ahead and highlight this, and I'm wondering, can I, yeah, I'm going to add this to some cardstock as well so it's thicker. Okay, so I'm wanting to combine these, the arms and stuff like that. But all I have are some red brads, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm probably going to paint them. So I'm just going to get like a paper piercer, or I'm just going to use this Tim Holtz Tonic Studios, this paper piercer, or whatever this, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to like punch a hole where I want my brad to go for the arm. And if you're doing this, be really careful that you don't hurt yourself. You could probably lay this on maybe a book and then pierce it. But yeah, right now this is just simply how I'm doing it, to poke a hole in it. But just be really careful when you do that so you don't hurt yourself. And I'm trying to get it like centered, get the holes somewhat centered into the thicker portions of the arms. That way when I put the brad in, it's not to the edge and the paper won't like tear from wear and tear from swiveling back and forth and things like that. Alright, so let's try to get these brads in and see how this is going to work out. So we're going to get this. You may have to make your holes a little bit bigger. You could probably just use a hole punch, but I didn't want my holes to get too big, and then the brads not want to stay in correctly or whatever. But so far so good. We're going to get this lined up how we want it, and then I'm just going to kind of turn the brad a little bit to where the two ends, when opened up, will kind of stay inside the body, and it doesn't show quite as much. Even if that little bit shows, that's fine, because I'm going to be covering up the bodice, or whatever you want to call it. And then I'm just going to add, I'll go ahead and add the legs here, and I'll connect the knees together, and I'll connect the elbows together, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have our little body together, and it swivels, it's, you know, flexible, you know, it's, now for my stripes, I've decided, these are kind of like stripes, I guess. I'm going to use this Gilded Lily from Graphic 45, Gilded Lily. And I'm just going to use it, and I'm going to create like a little dress for, or like a dress form, I guess you could say. So let's see, how am I going to do this? I'm going to have it coming around the girl. So I'm just kind of creating shoulders. And this is going to like fit over top of the body of the dress form. And I'm going to be adding some mixed media. So and I'm probably going to give this some layers too. So this can kind of come down like so. And I'm going to cut out a part of this right here. Let's see, I do want this part of her hair. And then part of her neck. And then I'll just kind of cut around her face. I think I'm going to take a little bit of this shoulder part down, just a little bit, because it's kind of high. And let me go ahead and distress around the edges. And I'm wondering if I should double this, like put this on extra cardstock or just leave it. I think I'll leave it. And maybe add some cheesecloth or something like that on there behind it. Okay, so she's definitely going to go here. And she needs like some type of a really cute belt. So, let me get some string to come down. Okay, so we are looking for the color teal. And so there's a couple things I'm going to do. So let me move these out of the way for right now. And so I've got me some water and paintbrushes. I've got some string, some blue string or jute, twine, whatever. Then I've got some Craft Smart acrylic paint, turquoise, and some of this green. What is that? I can't see from here. Is that Citron? I need to wear my glasses. So we're going to create us a color. Actually, I'm just going to put it on here. Just put a little bit of this paint on there. A little bit of this green. I might be out. Oh no, I still have a little bit. I don't need a whole lot. So we've got that, and then I'm just going to spray a little bit of this glimmer mist. What is this? Princess Blue. It's somewhat of like a teal color. I'm almost out, but here, let me just see if I can just maybe pour just a little old dab. Don't need a lot. And what I'll do, because we do want stripes, and right now this beige isn't really showing a whole lot. So we're going to give it some blue and beige stripes. Create our own. That's what I like about patterns, is creating my own. I love to do that. I mean, this is already basically in here, but I'm just giving it a little extra. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to add like a little, just kind of go around the edge to outline the dress. I think that's kind of fun. And I'm just using that alcohol ink to do that. Okay, so we've got that. And I'm just going to kind of add like some shadows and stuff like that in there. Okay, so we've got that, and I'll probably alter that a little bit more. But for now, I want to alter some of this string. I'm not sure how much I'm going to need, because some of them I may use for her hair, because well, she's already got like this gorgeous, the texture kind of reminds me of string a little bit, so I may be able to add a little bit of color and change some of that to like more of a bluish greenish teal that we're looking for. That's my goal. Let's see if I can add a little bit more green. And then we're just going to color the string. I'm going to try to turn it like a teal color. I'm just dipping this string into these colors. I don't know how much it's changing colors, but I'm trying to make it change. So I'm going to take a dryer and let this dry. So I think I turned it into like a teal color. This is the original, and then this is our dyed one. So yeah, it's tealish, and I like how it matches this, since we did use similar colors in there when we created that. So I think I want to go ahead and glue this head down onto the body. That way it's already where it needs to be, and I can kind of get a better idea of what I'm doing, kind of, sort of. So I'm just gonna add her neck onto this neck. Well, now what I may have to do to make the body more secure is I may have to glue this main part down to another piece of paper, to a solid paper, which is fine, because the only things that really need to move are mainly her arms and part of her leg. So I think I'll go ahead and do that so that this doesn't move. Where did I put that? Leftover. This is that leftover paper that I had, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue her and part of this body on here. There's a squirrel or something outside on our roof, and it's just like gnawing away. I don't know what in the world it's doing. So if you hear that sound, that's what that is. It's little squirrels, for some reason they like it here. Okay, so then I'm going to cut this out. And then we're going to go ahead and build up from here. Okay, so I've got that glued on to the back. So this is pretty much a whole lot more sturdy than what it originally started out. So I need to do something with her neck. Maybe I could add just a hint of blue or something. No, I don't want to mess it up though. I really don't want to mess it up. I might just leave it, or I'll create like a necklace or something. In the meantime, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and glue this dress on. I'm going to add a little bit of glue here and all around. And then we can lift her hair up just a tad. And it's going to come like somewhere along in here. And I'm just going to fold this back over her arm or shoulder. But her arm can still move, you know. And then let me look over her shoulder on this one. I can kind of fold that down a little bit. Even though that part's covered up mostly. So, now, I don't like the red that is on her knees and her elbows. So, we can paint that. I could actually either do blue or I could do white. I think I'm going to try white. Just a tad bit of white. Because I have an idea, after the white dries, I might even put some texture paste on there. And then after the texture paste dries, then come back over it with some Archival ink. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just going to paint the knees as well. Even though the knees aren't really going to show, but just in case. Because I'm not sure yet how I'm going to do this. But we don't want that red either way. So we're going to let that dry. Let's see. She's going to need a belt of some sort. So we've got our string, teal string. And like I said, I considered putting some of this in her hair, but I'm not real sure yet. I will have to like run lines of glue and then like literally glue this on and then just kind of see where it goes from there. But I don't know yet because I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. It's like it's quilled. It's very pretty though. I don't know. I don't want to mess up that image, but that shade of blue isn't what I'm looking for. So what I may do is just take some texture paste and draw it in. And then, hold on. Let me slide her arms out. And let's try to check out her belt that we've got. I think the belt needs to come down some. What I may do is turn that into like a bracelet or something. Like I said, after that dries, we'll see. Or I could create a fan, because she did have this left over, and I could turn this into a fan, or let this be part of her dress or something. I think I'm going to take a little piece of this off. And glue this on. Okay, so that paint's pretty much dry, and hold on, this keeps moving around. Let me make sure this stays on here. This little pearl. Make sure I wipe it off good, and the glue doesn't cover the color of the pearl. It wants to come off. Try to make sure it stays glued on. Okay, so while I'm waiting on the pearl and everything else to dry, I'm just going to come through, and I'm going to take some texture paste and paint on, using some of this Distress texture paste. I'm going to paint on bits and pieces of her hair, and then I'm also going to take some regular paint and then paint the wings. But first, let me just go ahead and paint this texture paste. I'm just going to run some of this texture paste onto the string. And then I'm going to attempt to add some of this string on here. Okay, so these are dry, and I've decided I'm going to add some fabric to the wings. And let me slide this over. And I've got some different fabrics that I had stitched together. I've got some in one of my books that I had added for my Junk Journal January, and then I had also, this was also was going to be part of the Junk Journal January, but it was too thick, so this is the other half of the side that I was going to use in there. But anyway, it's basically like a little, it's like a cluster book of fabric. So I'm just cutting a snippet off of it. I just stitched some fabrics together so that when I need it, I can take a little piece off of it and add it to my project. Just what I'm going to do here. So I've got some tulle cheesecloth. Let's see. I think I'm going to turn it like this. And then I'm going to be stitching these like this. I'm just going to kind of grab it in the middle, almost like a bow. And then it's going to go similar to like this. And then this is going to go over top of it. The wings will go will go over top of it. And then I'm going to add this cheesecloth over top of the wings. Okay, so now we have it, but what I want, these keep moving around, so I'm going to go ahead and glue it in place specifically where I want it at. So I'm just going to add a little glue right here. So we're going to let the glue dry a little bit. And while we let it dry, I think I want to make her, let's see, this moves back and forth. I think I'm going to let her hold like a fan in her hand. So I'm going to create a fan. And I'm just going to take a piece of, let's see, I'll just take a piece of this leftover scrap right here, and I'm just going to bend it like this, then like that, like this, like that. And then I'm just going to cut it like kind of going around. And then I'm just going to add some ink on there. Archival ink. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. And we're going to glue these together. And I'm going to have to try to flatten this right here. Okay, so I had to cut it down because it was just too big. I did stitch it, but I still cut it. So basically all I'm going to do is just I'm going to add some glue to the fan. And I'm just going to glue it to her hand. And since it swivels, just going to glue it like this. And I may have to put a clip or something on there just until it dries. But that way she'll be able to swivel it up and down, you know, in case she's hot, you know. I think that's pretty cool. So that's pretty much it, guys. So let me move this out of the way so you can kind of get a better view of her. This was Seek, Gather, Create for week 2 using a face, the color teal, wings, and stripes. So yeah, so she has her little fan. Let me lift this camera up just a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So yeah, she can swivel and fan herself. I just think that's just so cute. And she's got her wings. Yeah, let me let this finish drying because it's not dry all the way yet. But yeah, she's got her wings. It's just a hot mess on the back, but that's fine because we can put this into a journal or something. I think that she would look good in my winter soul journal that I made in 2022 that I haven't used at all this year. So yeah, she would look good in here somewhere. Maybe right here or somewhere. But yeah. This is my Seek, Gather, Create. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos, blog, and social media sites. And check out the Scrappy 8 Facebook group where you'll find a whole lot of inspiration. And the Seek, Gather, Create is hosted by, it's on Instagram, and I'll have it in the description. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and click the bell for notifications, and thanks for watching.